with women in whatever industry, we are always easy to take advantage of, especially when you are in a desperate position, when I don't have the funds, I don't have the connection, you are Franklin, and I need you to do something for me to be up there. What happens usually is people will try to take advantage of you. That's usually what happens. You understand me? They will say and they will threaten that if you don't do this, I'm going to make sure you don't make it up. You don't make it in this town. You don't make it. And this is Namibia. It's a small industry. And one person can basically block your ways. They can talk to other producers back then. Yeah. Now it's a bit better. But they can talk to other producers, promoters, and whatever. And you're not going to go anywhere. Because this person wants to take sexual advantage of you.
If I'm a record producer or whatever, and I somewhat take that route and you say no or whatever, you stand your ground, then you're telling me that there was a time that it was possible for me then to...
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Because here's the thing, producers have their own network. They talk to each other. This guy will say, yeah, don't work with that girl. You know, she's nonsense. Yeah. She's whatever, she's difficult, she's whatever. And we'll talk to promoters. You know, no, don't work with that person. And you'll be sitting at home. It doesn't matter how good you are. You'll be sitting at home and nobody wants to work with you because you're blackballed. Because this person wants to take advantage of you sexually. Some of us were lucky in a sense that, I don't know how to say it without boasting, but people literally wanted to work with me because they saw something. Yeah, so it was rare. But I'm not going to lie. There were people that tried to take advantage of me. There were.
And I'm guessing this is just not like beginner type producers. These are people that we know, people that somewhat are respected.
The truth
in the
is
music
ugly
scene.
if it comes out. The truth is ugly.
But do you really call it advantage?
It is.
Is it an advantage or is it just...
Let me ask you something, Fidel. If you are good, you have food to eat, you have a roof over your head, you can afford to do your music videos and, go out there and make it. You don't need another person. Nobody can take advantage of you. But when you're starting out, it doesn't matter the talent that you have, though. If you're starting out and you need these people, let's say, out of 10, 5 will try to take advantage of you. My brothers have been coming to me, this guy, he's good, he's got the finance, he can help us, he's a promoter, he works for this company, like media-wise and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he wants to get the boys to, do the other sexual things.
Say what now?
Yeah.
As female artists, and again, because that is kind of where we are taking the conversation from, really, is it something that is a conversation that happens amongst the ladies and they know that producer...
Nobody wants to talk about that. Who wants to talk about that? To air your dirty laundry. So it's something we don't talk about it, but we see it. It's something we keep quiet about, but we know about it. I know about, a couple of ladies, but I don't talk about it because that's not my business, but it's there. It's been there.
But are you also aware that there are females that offer producers...
Of course.
Themselves, they also offer them alcohol.
Of course.
They also offer them sex.
Yes.
For beats.
Yes. Look.
Because that's not an advantage.
This is life.
It's an opportunity.
People try to do whatever they can do to, to achieve what they want. It's not just in this industry, it's in every industry.
So how far can your being good take you then just on that merit that you are good? Because it seems to me then that's a very unfair ball game then, isn't it? That if Teqla comes and she's extremely gorgeous and she's like really, really good, producer A blocks all her ways. It means that although she was this good, she's extremely good. Simply because she was not giving into the pressure, we will never get to hear of Teqla. So how long?
Okay, like I said, I was going to testify.
Yeah.
Not now, though. A bit later.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to say is there's a lot of good artists out there but they're not getting their chance because they don't have the right support. Because, like me, I'm the kind of person that I'm my father's daughter, you understand? I've had ministers' sons, ministers, entrepreneurs, people that if I drop names that were literally saying, I am going to sponsor you if you become my side. I'm going to give you a monthly salary. I'm going to buy you a flat and a car, things like that. But because I'm my father's daughter, because of how I was raised, it wasn't good with my soul. I decided, if I die poor, it's okay. I can't do that. But not everybody's like that.
Yo, man.
Yeah, this is deep.
As we're having this conversation, I'm just like thinking through every other producer I know, or like every other promoter I know, and it's like we seem to have this conversation a lot about industry building, and sometimes it's like, okay, are we just having it simply because we can, whereas other guys know exactly what is happening? Yeah, but so let's get right back to, you've got like younger artists that are just starting right now, extremely talented, very young talented artists. If you had to come to them and perhaps advise them concerning this issue, they might not really take it as such.
Here's the thing. I always tell the new generation, you guys are lucky. Things are easier now. You understand me? There's a lot of opportunities now. You don't need. You can literally do a beautiful song, artwork, and there's so many distribution, like you can put it on DistroKid and whatever. You don't need the channels that we needed. Back then, you needed to take out the DJs, buy them drinks for them to play your songs. Right now, you don't need to do that. You've social media now. It's easier now. You understand? So the pressure now is not as much as it was, but it's still there if you don't know what to do.
But the bottom line here is, Franklin, you should remember that being in a position where the three of us are, you being a poet, me being a composer, a music producer, or a publisher, and Teqla being a singer, a musician, I can't say that we chose this path. Maybe the path chose us, because at the end of the day, the industry we find ourselves in attracts certain things that are unwanted. For example, being an artist, I've been touring all over, and the amount of attention that you get, especially from females, and then as an artist, there's this thing that is in you that it sort of activates your hormones to actually sexually want to be.
Can we address it the way it is, please?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Your hormones. Men are just wired. Men are just wired.
Being an artist is that thing. Once you get off the stage,
now you're an artist, and that is being thrown in your face all the time.
Yeah, you get into the buzz.
Artist, and women are just throwing themselves at you. It's difficult to say no, or to kind of restrict yourself, and to kind of have some sort of boundaries and stuff like that. And I've seen, as a woman, because I basically chill out with my male artists. I'm not really close to my female artists. I'm usually with my male artists, so I see what goes on.
True.
You understand?
On the road,
I
off
see
the
it.
road. Yeah.
I have tried where I would insult, I would threaten, I would like, don't do this. Why? But it's in your face. People are literally throwing themselves at you. And this is not nonsense, people. This is a beautiful woman. You understand? And as a man, unfortunately, you all got a flaw. You fall into that trap all the time, like King Solomon. You understand? So it's I feel like if you're gonna decide to go into music and be an artist, you need to be of strong character, because there's so many temptations. Women or men, if you're a woman, alcohol and drugs. And not just that, I know those were the three, but there's a lot more where you make wrong life choices, where you're just about the vibe. You're not building anything, you understand? So there's a lot. Being an artist, apparently, you are 6 times more if you are in this music industry. 6 times more to develop a mental health problem. Because there's so much that's coming at you.
Yeah.
So much that you are expected to perform. You are expected to be beautiful or handsome. You are expected to hit. You are expected to be, the one that the ladies, all the men want. You understand? So it eventually, it starts messing with your mind. And if you're not strong of character, you're gonna... How many great artists around the world do we know of today that have gone through meltdowns? People that just think have it all.
Some that just had a permanent meltdown
and exactly. Or some that literally just quit and said, I can't handle this.
Yeah. But is it because we're not mature to have that conversation as yet locally? Because
we've never had that conversation.
We've never had, and I say this because I recall this one time. I was interviewing again a female artist here, and again, it's my job to. Okay, this is my job. I get paid to do this. And as I was escorting her out, I was opening the door for her because it locks with an access card. She felt that hand and she was passing on to me like a $200. I asked her, "What's going on?" And she was like, "No, the culture, or at least how it is that wherever I have to go, I always either have to pay for stuff or because first she said, can we link or something in the line of I could take your number." And I thought, no,
what did I tell you?
You just go to the music library, and then because I'm like, no, just go to the admin office, make a booking. They will just come and bring you to the show. That was like a thing at the peak when I was just starting my career. I never understood that concept.
Frankly, what did I tell you? When we started, we used to take the DJs out. We used to literally give them food, drinks, so they become our buddies, so they play our songs.
Then I think I go right back. I think this conversation is something that I know that the artists like DJ touched on, guys like J Black touched on, and it's really one of those, because I've always found it very weird how, for example, as a radio host, I am allowed to play what I like, which is very silly, because you go to some certain stations and they only play this type of artist every day. You're like, okay, is it because he's popping? And you realize, no, my rule of law is this: if you're my close friend and you're an artist, I'll treat you even harder, because I don't want to be put in a position where it seems like I've given you that leeway. But this has ruined the Namibian industry completely. You know what I mean? Where stations play specific people, and so it's not even because the people are good, it's just because there were underground favors happening.
It's something I've been... Sometimes you think like, why is this person getting so much airplay?
Yeah.
And this person is not even as good as that person. The other person puts so much energy.
Yeah.
This other person puts in but that's the person they are playing. Why? Because they are friends. Why? Because this person takes them out, feeds them, That's what it is. I just want to apologize. No, I don't want to apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, my baby is here with me.
Hey, baby.
He's making noises at the background there. So guys, if you are hearing a baby crying in the background, that's my baba.
No, we love the baby in the background.
It seems to me then that one of the challenges would be that if somebody was to then come out and say, yo, this happened to me, Franklin did such and such, it seems difficult, because who are you to come and attack Franklin, for example? You see what I mean? This guy, he seems to be very well established. Who is going to believe you? Because...
But Franklin, what is the culture that we have in Namibia? Usually, when somebody comes and complains, what do Namibians do? They don't take the victim and sympathize. They make fun of the victim. How many artists came from labels that mistreated them, didn't do what they were supposed to do, and when they came out, they were made a laughing stock of? Because the minute you complain and say, yeah, whoever did this, then they laugh about it, they make memes about it. You understand? We have this culture where we don't address things or take things seriously or make changes about things that are serious. We make a joke about it. All of a sudden, when somebody commits suicide or somebody was found at a service station, passed out and out of their mind and needs help, what do? Instead of really focusing on helping this person, what do? We make a joke about it.
Yeah, Namibians are we are the world champions of memes, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's sad, but it is true. You know what
It's
I mean? That
true.
it's easier to become a meme in this country than to become something. It's just what it is,
It is
and
what
again,
it
like you're
is.
saying, so if you came out and said Franklin did such and such, you know what I mean? Maybe the first question would be, well,
That's
how did
gonna
they
be the
know?
topic of discussion when they're drinking their beer. Like, yeah, Franklin, and
Yeah,
like, okay, are we not focusing on,
yeah.
the
And
subject
it's crazy
matter of
because the
what it
artist,
was?
yeah, the artist supposedly does the craft for the people. The same people that then consume this person's craft are the same people that when that artist is in need of actual help, we do not run to their aid. You know what I mean?
No,
and
we
it's,
don't.
it's such a weird concept.
In fact, it becomes entertainment. Like I said, 6 times more likely to develop a mental health issue when you're an artist. And what happens? People make memes about it. It's entertainment instead of giving the person help. I hate it when we hear another one of our colleagues has died, took his own life. And then that's when like, oh, mental health, I am quite he was drinking too much or he was whatever. You saw the person go through that. What did you do? Did you try to help that person? But you are easy to talk about it when it's done.
Can this situation be controlled? I mean, in terms of just...
No.
2 years ago, news came out, and it kind of involved two young cats, man. And they were accused of like drug rape. What is this low? What do they call it when you roofie somebody's drink? Drug rape, or whatever it's called.
Spike the drink.
Yeah. And so this girl came out, and young girl, she was like maybe 16. And she was at a rave or a party of some sort, and this dude was there, and he took her to a room, and she recalls the dude's dressing, but I guess because that dude maybe might have had like, I don't know, proper legal backing, that story kind of just died. I followed it deliberately because I was like, I need to see how far, because her details were a bit too specific. Like, I was not gonna pay it any mind, but those details. Look, if I say to you, your left toe or somewhere by your thigh, you've got a mark. That's a bit too specific for me to just discard.
Yeah.
But that story ran for like a good week or two, and then it kind of just disappeared. And then I wondered last year, okay, so whatever happened to that girl? Long story short, she had some weird mental breakdown. And I think she finished grade 12 with like, what, 5-6 points? Yeah, because it was just like, look, you are you, and you're accusing me of this caliber, the two of us. Seriously, who's gonna take your side?
Do you know the most painful thing is when you are a victim and you speak out and nothing is done about it? It hurts 2 times worse. It messes with you 2 times worse. Because I mean, like, I went through something. It traumatized me, and I got the strength to talk about it and try to seek justice about it, and I don't get it. It's like a whole other traumatization, it's terrible. And this is the situation we have in Namibia, where this is trending now. After a week, it's forgotten about. Nothing's done about it. It's like things get, how do you say? People get away with things. We're not serious about things. We don't solve things.
Are those patterns still happening? That whole exchange where producers, especially, because look, they are pretty much the glue to any musician.
I mean, to answer that question, to be honest with you, I had a bad experience as well when I was working on the Deadly Ground project, where I had a producer, beat maker to work on the artists. I provided him accommodation because I believe, he was working day and night. Put him in a flat, set up the studio, he sleeps there, he works in there. Feed my man, I'm taking care of him. And I've been seeing females coming in and out, and I could see some of them were not artists. And then all of a sudden I'm being told, no, they're doing vocals or backups for one of the artist's songs, for example. And I said, okay, fine. And I will listen. Okay, the vocals are there. Sounds good. And then all of a sudden I started seeing the females coming out in the morning. And I'm like, dog, you're recording. Is she paying? And my homeboy is over there. He's like, man, nigga, don't worry about it. And I'm like, but this is a studio. It's a workspace.
Here's the thing. If I was a female producer, you wouldn't see that happening. You wouldn't be seeing random guys coming through or them taking advantage of, No.
Where are
this
the
usually happens with the male. Guys, can we just address the elephant, please?
How many producers? How many females that owns their own?
We don't have any female producers.
At all.
All female promoters. Okay, no, we have 2. No, 3. We have 3. But most of what happens is men like taking advantage of positions.
Yeah.
Let's talk about alcohol.
Okay.
Love that topic of alcohol. What is the relationship between alcohol and artists? Can we separate the two? Remember when you guys are in the studio?
You are really putting me on the spot with that.
When you're in the studio, there gotta be booze. After
Not
the studio, hold on, T. Before you get into the studio, just that whole vibe, Yeah, man, this jam is gonna be a hit. Hold on, Teqla.
I said I'm testifying.
Well, you can
this
testify.
Is my truth.
You can testify after I'm done.
Okay.
This song is gonna be a hit. There's always this atmosphere going on, and there's always a drink somewhere around the corner, and there's always cigar weed somewhere around the corner. And then after that, after the recording, and then that whole excitement. Oh man, can you hear that? It's a drinking going on. Oh man, this is a banger. And then it's time to go and perform. Alcohol has to be in the equation. Before the performance, I said after the performance. I was doing a tour for Girl Level at some point, and then I'm asking Daphne and Frida, why do artists have to be drinking before they get on stage? I asked them that question. Is it necessary? And then Frida just told me, no, sometimes they need to find themselves. And I didn't understand what that meant.
Y'all don't ask Burna Boy that question. You don't ask Davido that question, but...
I don't know if them niggas are high.
No, Karunga Kanje.
All right, T. Okay, tell us about the relationship, artists and alcohol.
Listen. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Alcohol and other substances. You didn't mention other substances.
Cigar weed,
but they're there.
Other substances,
Yes. Here's the thing. In some people, they like to be in the vibe. You understand? They want to be in the mood and have fun. Some people abuse it. But you can't tell me that there's somebody that will go in front of people without some sort of motivation. You understand? Unfortunately, alcohol is that motivation for artists or substances. Some people are just naturally motivated. They don't need it. But unfortunately, the majority, we need that liquid motivation. It's what it is. It's what it is. But when it's
part of the tech writer. I mean, part of the personality.
Yes.
It's part
you
of
understand me? Yeah. When they ask you, what do you require? First thing they put is the alky.
Yeah.
And then they come to the food and whatever. But the alky first. It's just what it is.
So I got water for today.
I have water at home also. Nonsense.
That is good.
Yo, hold on. Yo, motivation. Okay, you got me over there. Can you share your own experience?
Literally, when I started,
good, bad, true, false.
No, true. Yeah. Like I said, alcohol was thrown at me like a river. Like I'm floating in it. Sat and looked at myself in my life, and I felt sick to the point where I was like, no, this is not healthy. This is not good for me. So I would take a little, finish up, and then I go mess it up. I don't like being drunk on stage. I would like to be in control when I'm on stage. But when you're starting out, you are offered this, like, alcohol was offered, and you would be there and you'd be lost in it and all of that. It took me to say, this is not the artist I want to be. I want to be in control of myself. I want to be able to communicate with the crowd and feel that connection. And that wasn't going to happen when I'm intoxicated to that point. So what did I do? I'll take a little bit. I'm in the vibe.
On stage now.
Yes. And then I go home and then I can finish it if I want to. So I needed to control it. But unfortunately, that's what it is.
Has it been a disadvantage to you at the beginning?
When I took control of it, it wasn't a disadvantage to me. But I did see a lot of people pee themselves, do other things I don't want to talk about. On stage, fall off. Yeah. Okay, even when I said that, you know who I'm talking about. You understand?
There's been so many cases of that,
Yeah. So there's been a lot of those cases. There's been a lot of cases where I would find a colleague of mine. When I say colleague, an artist, fellow artist, I'm going to the north for a performance. I come to, what is that service station in Ondangwa? And this guy's dead. I mean, on the outside bench. I have to pick him up. He's in the car. I perform. I take him to where we are booked. And in the morning, he doesn't even know how he got there.
That's the life of the artist.
What is that?
For performance.
He didn't even perform.
And you remember there's a paycheck that is involved at the end of the day.
He got the deposit.
Yeah, no, it happens. It happens, Franklin. I remember one of the artists, just after the performances, we went to an after party at one of the local cooker shops in Ongodiva. And there was a jukebox. One of the fans saw the artist there, and then he's like, yo, can you see that person? Can you see that person? And they start playing his music on the jukebox because he was there. Yeah. Now my homeboy was knocked out. And he heard his song playing, and then he's over there with his hands in the air. Oh man, it's falling apart. And now the people that are supposed to respect this man, now they're looking at him
like a Malala pipe.
You don't know whether they're laughing or they feel sorry for him. They're like, can that song playing is for that nigga right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Now they're pointing fingers at you. It's like, you see that guy falling apart?
You don't do that.
That's his song playing.
You don't do that.
But this is a famous song. Yeah, that's the artist right there.
But it's discipline, like I said.
Now over there, you are lying in your own vomit.
That's
the life of an artist. That is before or after the performance.
Unfortunately, music, being an artist, there comes a lot of things. And the other part that you didn't talk about is the whole, spiritual thing.
Creatives,
what?
In their nature themselves are like some of the shyest human beings you can find.
Yeah.
And so the audience is confused because they're like, but you sing so well publicly. It's like, yeah, but that is something that I do.
It's a character.
Character I assume. And so when you demand too much of that character, it wears you out. That's why you hear creatives, after they are done, they would like to be by themselves, meditate or whatever, because the energy out of them is, but the fans don't understand that. Fans say, no, the guy is rude. No, the guy is not rude. Like, I mean, one of my good friends, Mark Mushiba, great rapper, man, great poet. But if you come across him, you'll just think this guy is rude. He's not. Genuinely, even though he wants to say hi, he has no capacity to.
Do you know that I'm very antisocial? And you know who else is antisocial?
Yeah.
The dog.
Yeah.
And he's labeled of being one of the most rudest people because it gets to him when people get in his space.
Yeah. And that's why if you find KTD at any event, it's gonna be like either with emotion or somebody that he knows. Yeah. It's much easier. And so even if people will stand up to greet him, he can greet you guys for like a good 2 minutes, and after that he's done.
Yeah.
He's just done for the night. And then later you go say, but that guy is rude, man. He's not. The energy capacity, there's nothing left.
I literally, for a long time, I assumed this character, Teqla.
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I was pretending to be who I needed to be. Because when I'm in front of people, it scared me so much that I needed to pretend to be somebody else. That was the only way I could perform and aye. But get me when I'm home. I'm quiet. I want to just watch my TV and be quiet. And but I needed to assume this character for me to achieve my dream of who I wanted. It's not easy.
So you were not being who you are or you were supposed to be.
It's like there's two people living inside of me.
Tell us about it.
Wow. Growing up, I was a shy girl. If I'm walking down the street and I see you and Franklin, I'm going to turn around and go the other way. I didn't like men. I didn't like conversations. I was comfortable with who I knew, which was my closest friends and my cousins and whoever. You understand? But when I'm sleeping. I have this dream. I'm singing in front of a crowd. I'm out there. I don't have inhibitions of anything. I'm free. But the only way I could be that person was to pretend to be that person. The talent is there. But that expression of that, I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I'm still struggling to be there. So now you are an artist. You are, let's say, King TD. And all these people are like, hey, dog, hey. Some people are coming with good intentions.
Yeah.
Some people are coming with bad intentions.
Yeah.
You understand? And there's all kind of things being thrown at you. Alcohol and whatever have you. You understand? It's a recipe for disaster. And if you, like I said, character.
Have you been victimized before, or alcohol had a hang on you and disadvantaged you in some type of way?
I think I've been lucky in that sense because when I started, I literally had a support system. But of course, there were situations where that was presented to me, where alcohol was abandoned. Like I said, the alcohol was like, whoa, I was swimming in it. And it wasn't just producers. It wasn't just artists, promoters. It was fans as well. Fans will come and give you alcohol. And you'll be like you said, that story you said, where you'll become like a Malala pipe. You are just out there. You understand? I don't like not being in control. So from the early on, I took a step back where I controlled where I drank, with who I drank, when I drank. You understand? But it's there. It's so real. It's offered to you. Being an artist, you'll be called. I don't want to mention names. But, yeah, come. I'm buying you drinks. Like, I just want beer. You take a Jack Daniel. And you know Jack Daniel is the one that's messing you up. But it's like flowing. Why is this person trying to destroy you? And you are a fan. Or you are a promoter. Or you are a fellow artist, but you are destroying me.
Are they destroying you, or they're just trying to entertain you for you to have a good time?
That's not entertainment anymore. That's like me saying, I'm hungry, but you're saying, no, I'm only buying you alcohol. Feed me. Support, invest in my music. Don't give me alcohol and destroy me.
Your journey, you're one of the greatest singers that we have in this country. When you came out with the first project, was it Saturday night or it was before that? Saturday night.
It was...
I know there was a song.
There was a first song, when I see NBC still plays it. It's so embarrassing.
What song was that?
Are you sure, Fidel?
No, what was the title?
Franklin, do you remember this song that used to go, who's gonna love you, baby? Who's gonna love you, babe? That was the first ever song I ever did. NBC still has a tape of it. I don't know why they still play it.
No, wait, that's classic, man.
No, to
be honest, I mean,
I love saying that.
What was it that?
No, play it. I don't want to play it.
Who's gonna love you, baby?
And then came Will You Be There Saturday night, then it kind of, rolled on from there.
And then the last time we heard about you was your contract with GMP.
Fidel Odell, if you know something about me, is I don't like to talk bad about people.
Of course not.
No. And when I signed up with GMP, I didn't ask anybody's opinion or permission. That was something we did together.
Yeah.
If it didn't work out, that was something that happened between us. I'm not going to come out here and just, expose things and talk about how bad or whatever. All I can say is this. It was an opportunity for me to work with one of the greatest artists in Namibia.
True.
I learned so much from them. All I can say is, unfortunately, it didn't work out. That's it. I'm on my own right now. I'm about to release this year. I'm excited. I got a baby boy.
What's happening over there? Look at him looking at you.
I'm just happy right now. Happy right now.
Beautiful.
I'm looking forward to good things and stuff like that. I'm all about positive vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
possibly one of the most phenomenal vocalists we've ever heard in this country. And that's just that. I mean, you remember the song with the late Bojo. See, when that happened, and that was happening already in a time where Bojo was big.
Most
For you to be able to get already like a feature on a song, like I was just like, come on, man.
No way. People think like I did something. That guy came in Namibia. He went to Universal Sounds that time. Remember Universal Sounds?
Post more,
Yeah, and he spoke to the guy and said, I want to work with, a good female artist from Namibia. And Tate Clive gave him options. And he chose, I want to work with this one.
Oh.
He called me, T, where are you? No, I'm home. Come through. There's this guy from South Africa. I didn't even know who Bojo was.
Yeah.
This is guy from South Africa. He wants to work with an artist from Namibia. I came through. I did he asked me to sing. I did. Mm-hmm. He was so impressed. He flew out. Then he flew me in.
To SA?
To SA.
That's what's up.
But here's the thing. I was, oh my gosh. I know I like saying that. Yeah. I didn't have good management back then. I didn't have any sense of monetary, whatever. I was just excited to be an artist. I didn't get any financial gain from that. I went, I sang, I didn't sign nothing. That song went all the way to Japan. It was everywhere. But I didn't get a single cent because I didn't know what I was doing. I was so green.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Wow. And here we're thinking that the bank is rolling, Tequila's bank is piling up. Paper stack.
No. Nada. Cuatro.
So that was bad on Mojo's team.
You live and you learn.
Them niggas know.
You live and you learn.
Will you marry me?
And somebody came to me the other day like, Teqla, how can you say, if I marry you, will you marry? Obviously, I'm marrying you. I'm like, hey, what dance and man.
Okay, before we close, I want you to do that little piece for me. It's one of my favorite songs. What is that slow jam?
Why do they always do this?
Holy, right? Yeah, man. Tequila, I'm not gonna leave.
You mean this.
Can you do it live for us?
That's my
No, I just need you to do a little piece for me, man. I need to go and sleep in peace, not in pieces.
Fidel.
Not for real.
Depends. Am I gonna get a hug after this?
From me?
Yeah.
From Franklin? We will give you a hug. We will give you multiple hugs.
Okay. I'll try my best.
Okay.
Ngeno kwal odulo kutala montima wange ngeno shili iholi pula ngengo ndikuhole shili ngeno shili oh she. I'm done, right?
No. I'm caught up in the moment, man.
Oh, okay. All right. Guys, you know what? I'm gonna give you this because we can hear the song from in here.
All right. Okay, let's go about it. That's a classic, man.
What we're trying to do with the show is also take off the lid from the pot. When we have you again this time, it might become necessary to call a spade because we can't fix that which we don't know. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, because, again, when we don't correct the error, the error finds comfort. Okay, so if I go to somebody, it festers. If I go to somebody's studio and I say this guy is mishandling ladies or is mishandling his clients, and I never say anything in my position. What I've just done, I've enabled an error in the culture. So I can then not come back and complain about why ladies is like this. Why can't those guys play what? Because I too chose to be quiet, but we no longer want to be quiet. It's 2023, bro. You feel me?
That's like saying, why were some Germans quiet when Hitler was killing the Jews? Why didn't you say something? It was one of the biggest atrocities, and why didn't you all say something? I understand what you're saying. I just feel like, I know it's wrong, but I just... I don't want to mention names. I don't want to...
I don't know. I think we'll come back and just mention situations rather.
Situations.
Yeah. And then what we'll do is we'll allow those that have themselves been victimized in that manner to call in, because sometimes what you need is that rallying up. And he's agreeing with me, obviously, because he knows it's true. You see what I mean?
He's supposed to be sleeping this time.
No, that guy is living his best life.
I know, right? Like I was at NBC when I was this age.
What we're gonna do is allow for people to share their stories without the fear of scrutiny. And they don't even have to mention their names. They can call in and share their stories. But that's how we change the narrative. The narrative is never going to change unless we speak.
It's true.
Okay, so that I know next time if you're a producer B and you're like this, as an entity, we will refuse to play any songs you produced. Period. Until we that sometimes you just need to be
you're like
person.
The Malcolm X of the musical revolution.
Revolutionaries out here. But nonetheless, Teqla, thank you so much for making time with us. It was, I could tell there was a lot of you know what, man, let me just not say anything. In order for us to be able to think, let us please risk being offensive.
Apparently, can you rap as well?
I want to rap, but I can't. I'm willing to learn if Franklin can give me some classes.
We out here chilling, you know, dusting the dust of our shoulders.
I'm still waiting for Franklin to call me up and say, can we do a song together?
Yeah, for real. Like, I think this year,
I can imagine.
I was trying to just, grow in my craft and I don't know. And it's one of those, and I've heard this, but I'm more difficult on myself. Like it's just like whatever I wrote yesterday, nonsense. And so I don't even know what level it is I'm trying to reach.
You're hard on yourself. I'm like that too.
Yeah. So
like I'm never satisfied. I'm like, you won't get anything done like that way because you just
so like
to
you
let it
sing
fly.
there, and to you it's just like it's whatever. It's just singing. To me it's like this is crazy. But to you it's like no. That's the beauty of being a true creative, is that you truly are your only measurement.
Can you believe the biggest creative though in the whole world was Einstein?
Yeah.
And he had a mental problem.
Yeah.
He was the biggest creative and intelligent guy.
Yeah.
But he had that. That's what comes with being a creative.
Unfortunately, it's one of those.
I always say we are not citizens. Guys, Katusha Kwashiwana say we are like, we are like, can we just be classified something else?
Yeah.
Special keys or
No, creatives are very weird creatures.
We're weird
in
in
a room
our
full
way.
of creatives, man. It's and I mean true creatives.
Yeah.
It's nicer. Like magic happens there. There are people who can molest the industry and try to be creative and it works, but that can only go for so long.
Yeah.
But there are those natural creatives that when they sing, when they do something, there's this naturalness to it. You see? But unfortunately, those are also most of us that are like, I can't put this, it's not worth it. People are listening to it, thinking, this is gold. You're like, no, I can do better. But hey, I think this conversation can definitely have its own time, man.
Yeah.
Simple as that, man.